Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FAF Cast. My name is Endrani and I am your host. The intro might be getting old and stale, but who cares, because we are all here about the gameplay. And what a fine game we have today, coming straight to you from a TMM 4v4 matchmaking. On Canis River 10x10. Some time ago, it was one of the fan favorites. Everyone was playing Canis River. But thankfully now, it is a map of old, and thankfully, it is play out most of the time in a 4v4 scenario on TMM, because, guys, believe me, this map when played with more than 8 players is horrible. It is utterly horrible, so bad I don't even wanna go into detail. But anyway, Canis River it is, so we can expect most of the action in the early game to happen on the middle here, where players are gonna try to get control over this 3 max expansion here, and while there might be some action happening on the sides, unfortunately we can see that the passages here are actually quite thin, and as such, the choke points are gonna happen. When it comes to the reclaim, there is actually quite a lot of it. 34,000 mass, so 17,000 per team, which is a really good amount of reclaim to actually have, because it will mean that we can actually see the players propel their economy a little bit faster. But well, who are the players? Because we can see that the teams are actually really decently rated, with 1400 rated players average rating for the players per team. We are bound to go and see some good guys. So, starting out with the top team, in the left corner it is gonna be Biomutant playing UEF in a beautiful lemon yellow. Then on the air slot for the top team it is gonna be Paisley playing Cybern in beautiful burgundy red. Then on the middle slot it is gonna be Azot, who's trying to go and tell us that he's not Azot, but it is Azot, so Azot we will call him, playing Aeon in beautiful bloody red. And last but not least, for the top team, it is gonna be Freed, maybe Fred, I don't know, we're just gonna go and call him Fred, playing beautiful UEF ACU in a nice lively orange color. Their opponents are gonna be Fede97 playing on the left flank for the bottom team with a beautiful lavender violet UEF ACU. Then on the middle spot it is gonna be Rena X playing Cybran in beautiful sky blue. Then on the air slot it is gonna be Isma98 playing Aeon in a really nice royal blue. And last but not least, playing on the right flank for the bottom team, it is gonna be Valeone playing Aeon in beautiful cyan. So starting out, we can already see that there have been some raids happening from both teams. Both Mr. Paisley and their little friend, not Azot, already sending little flares and mech marines to the left flank. As we can see, the raids try to go and deal some damage to the enemy. Oh no, here comes the Snoop. And the mech marine can be also seen in the distance. The little engineers are not gonna try to reclaim the little hunter boy, meaning he's still free to go and deal damage out here. Also, there is a T1 bomber coming out from Mr. Valeone, which is gonna go and kill 4 engineers belonging to the top team. Thankfully, they managed to go and grab their little T1 interceptor and Sky Slammer to go and deal with it. On the other hand, the little hunter belonging to Mr. Azot is still prowling around. We will see if it can actually go and deal some more lasting damage than killing a single engineer. But we will see. It is here. Can it kill? Shots fired away. The engineers are under fire. Hate to see it, but here comes the mech marine to go and save the day. The Snoop opens the fire, the little hunter starts running away. He's gonna go and try to dodge or not. Who's gonna win this? Who's gonna win this? We can see both of them dancing all around. This is the tango of death, what it seems like. Mr. Fede is gonna move the mech marine away. The bombers comes out for Mr. Valeone. Is it gonna go and kill this little bugger or not? Because the little bugger is killing engineers one after another. Come on, Mr. Valeone. Drop the bomb, man. Drop the bomb. Bomb have been dropped, and as such the little hunter finally dies. Although I have to say, he had a really good life. He managed to go and kill a bunch of T1 engineers, deal a little bit of a damage to the enemy APM, and as such this was a good mech marine. Coming back to the middle of the map, we can see Isma actually grabbing the sensor upgrade and now a T2 upgrade, which is not something I would expect from an Aeon player. Especially considering he's playing up against the enemy other Aeon player. I would actually rather opt for the double gun upgrade, or if you wanna really go sensors, just grab the sensors and the gun range upgrade. But going T2, can't say I'm a fan of it. I would rather want to go and see you push in here. Try to go and fight for this little T3 Max expansion, maybe even try to go and get rid of this base here belonging to Mr. Azot. But who cares, because Mr. Rena X already have the gun come, and he's marching slowly but surely forwards towards the enemy base. We can see a few mantises in the distance and also the enemy ACU, which seems like it also have the gun upgrade, or was it T2? No, it's the gun upgrade. It seems like we're gonna go and have two Cybern ACUs duke it out on the middle, as Mr. Paisley is gonna go and deal with Mr. Renax. The shots are being fired as both ACUs are entering their firing range. Both guns sizzling with a hot plasma fissure. The Mantis are also opening fire, but it seems like there is not that many Mantis for the top team, meaning that Mr. Rena is actually gonna deal a lot more damage in here. This army is gonna get eradicated, and both ACUs will also take a lot of damage. But after getting rid of this army, I think, yep, Mr. Rena is gonna go and make a run by to the left flank, where he can go and kill off this beautiful T1 Maxes, and also, please kill this one. This is a T2 Max in progress. If you kill it, you're gonna be a real monster, Mr. Rena. Also, here comes the support from the left flank as Mr. Fede sends some of his own mech marines and T1 strikers to the middle to go and reinforce the little push happening here. As Mr. Rena X and Mr. Paisley are still exchanging fire, but soon enough Mr. Rena is gonna go and deep down to the water to go and hide from the enemy units. Oh no. Oh no. A sweet T2 Max is gonna get raided. Because the Locust Swarm from the Cybern is coming in here. You can see their legs juggling one after another. The lasers are opening the fire, and the T2 Max is soon enough gonna be nothing else but a memory. Now, looking at what is happening on the right flank, it seems like we have a Fred coming with a T2 upgrade and a gun on his beautiful UFACU, and he's gonna get met with a T2 suit upgrade for Mr. Valeone, meaning he will have to go up against a bunch of T1 and T2 PDs. But if he makes a swift push, he should still be able to go and crush this position. Meanwhile, Rena X is actually popping up on the other side of the river, where he is gonna go and meet Mr. Azot. The T1 PD have been started to build by the T3 T1 engineers. Oh my goodness, the TML, we have missed the TML from Mr. Azot, which have killed 1, 2, 3. 3 T2 Maxes have been killed by the TML coming out from Mr. Azot. Beautifully done. Really good job, Mr. Azot. I might have missed it, but you have dealt quite a considerable damage to your opponent. Now some Aurora forces trying to go and push through the river. Unfortunately, bunch of mantises and the gun from Renegades are gonna be enough to deciduate this attack, which is gonna be nothing but a 300 mass donation. Let's see what is happening here. Okay, it seems like Mr. Fred is trying to go and build some T2 triads, but unfortunately the triads are a little bit too late. As we can see, the enemy Oblivion turret from Mr. Valeone already firing away. The triad drops down to 400 HP. It's still being repaired, but the next shot is gonna go and kill it off. Mr. Fred not giving up, still trying to go and grab another triad up and running. And here comes the push. The ACU for Fred is marching forward. We can see Valeone trying to make even more T2PDs to go and stop the push. We can see some units pushing on the left flank, some units coming in from the right flank to go and deal mayhem. But the T2PDs are dealing with them just fine. There is also a bunch of T1 interceptors here in the mix, but Fred is gonna come under fire. We can see the tanks starting to shoot away at the T1 PDs. But, oh no, why are you reclaiming this? You should be shooting it, you have more damage like that. The first T2 PD is actually gonna go and fall down, but the T1 Eruptors are dealing enormous damage to Fred, who is actually dropping below 50% HP, 5000 HP left on his ACU. And he better run away. No, don't aim at the ACU, go and kill off all of the T2 PDs and T1. Also, it seems like there is a TML launcher for Mr. Valeone, who managed to go and kill a single T2 max. Which one was that? Oh my goodness, I have missed. Yep, there was TML hitting these positions here. As we can see, two T1 maxes actually have ceased to exist in here. But whose TML it was? It was a TML belonging to Mr. Isma, this one here. So while it was the top team to go and use the TML first, oh no, there comes another TML rocket, the missile is flying away. But where is it going? Is it gonna go and deal any kind of damage or not? Because we can also see that there is a push happening on the left flank. As Mr. Rana X is not giving up, and it seems like the missile have been intercepted by the TMD. I mean, I didn't really see it happen, so I'm just guessing here. But the Mantis raid is dealing a lot of damage on the middle, as we can see Mr. Paisley taking a lot of damage. Oh no, a T2 max. A T2 max is actually gonna get lost yet again to a bunch of T1 units. You hate to see it, but what you can go and say, it just happens. A TML missile flying for Valeone, but the shield is gonna go and intercept it, so not much damage gonna not. The Cerberus turret starting to fire away as Mr. Paisley is trying to go and protect his own base. But oh god, that was a lot of pauses happening. But the Mantises are still pushing in. The T2 max, the another one is yet again under fire. It is gonna go down. 300 HP, 100 HP, and kaboom, baby. The T2 max is no more. They're trying to go and kill even more maxes, but it seems like there is not gonna be enough DPS. As the two Cerberus turrets are gonna be just enough to go and finish off the remnants of this raid. Actually, wait, is it gonna kill it? No, it is not. It's gonna be left alone on 600 HP, so no. Oh no, a bunch of Wagners! A bunch of Wagners are here, I repeat, a bunch of Wagners are here, and they're gonna go and kill a T2 max belonging to Mr. Biomutant. Oh, Rena X, you are dealing so much damage in here. No, never mind, this is actually a T3 max. I repeat, this is a T3 max. Here comes the DM1 plasma cannon being built to go and kill off the little Wagners. And as such, the raid is gonna be nothing else but a small mass donation. After all, the T3 max is still gonna stay alive. Now it seems like... Let's go and take a look if we actually have a T3 air on the field. We were already 40 minutes in, but now the T3 air is nearly done here. it's a little bit late for my liking, considering you should have T3 at around, I guess, minute 10 or something in a full 6v6 game, although considering this is a 4v4, I would say that having, let's say, 12-minute T3 should be doable. Anyway, it seems like the small raid on the right flank from Mr. Valone is gonna get met with a bunch of T1 units from Mr. Fred. Unfortunately, the T2 unit mix of asylums and little blazes is gonna be enough to go and deal with the enemy army. Which you hate to see it, but well, you can do nothing about that. The T2 units are basically just way better. Now let's look what is happening on the left flank. On the left flank there is just nothing happening. It seems like Mr. Biomutant is just setting up a forward fire base for him. Or should I rather say a frontal base of operations, considering that he have the T2 HQ here on the front line. Also a T3 Max in a quite hazardous position, to be honest. Not a place I would be making T3 Maxes first, although considering that you have T3 Maxes here. And not a single max here, because it seems like he have lost the expanding max on the left flank yet again. As we can see, a bunch of Mantis wrecks in here, which have been killed off by the beautiful pilars standing in here. So yeah, I guess this is the only position where you could upgrade your maxes, which is understandable. The raid from Mr. Valone is still happening, as it seems like the blazes are gonna get deep inside the enemy territory. As the base belonging to Fred is gonna get under fire, we can see some bombers from Mr. Paisley trying to drop their payload onto the enemy units. But it seems like not a single T2 Max is gonna get crushed. A bunch of T1 PDs is being produced by Mr. Fred, but unfortunately he's making the AA cannons. Those are not DM1s, those are DA1s, mister. You want the plasma cannon, not the anti-air railgun turret. But still, it seems like the T1 units are still just enough to go and buy some time. Although it seems like the blazes are gonna go and win out with it, although unfortunately for him, there is a few DM1 plasma cannons in here, so yep. It seems like the T2 Maxes are gonna be safe from the enemy units. So, the T3 Air is online, as we can see that both teams have a single ASF flying around. One is here, second one flying over the base of the top team. There is also a small snipe attempt happening, as Mr. Azot is gonna go and shoot a few volleys from the Spectre gunship against the ISMA ACO. But unfortunately I saw mercies. I saw mercies, another one! Azot! Do you want a ban from the lobbies? Do you wanna get a ban? Do you wanna get banned from the RMG lobbies, man? You are not supposed to be using mercies! What a bad man. Coming back to what we were actually looking at, it seems like Mr. Fred actually took a lot of considerable damage, considering all of the expanding mexes on the right side of his base have been killed off by the T2 raids happening from Mr. Valone. As such, he's gonna be quite behind for now. But even then, it seems like we have entered the classic stalemate of the Canis River, meaning the map have been cut in half, and everyone have their part of it. So for now, let's go and take a look at the income for the both teams. The players with the highest incomes are on the left flank, and considering that they weren't doing anything else but just echoing and making beautiful bases, it is understandable that they would actually have the highest income, with Biomutant racking at 204 mass per tick, which is actually quite a lot. Mr. Fed97, his opponent, on 201. Actually, never mind, it was just a small reclaim spike, as his income is on 187 mass per tick. The other players are unfortunately in not such a good situation, with Valeone being the third one on 106 mass income. Then we have Azot on 80, Mr. Renex on 66, and then Paisley on 50 mass income, and Fred on barely 40, just scraping it, after losing all of the maxes here on this expansions here, so yeah. This was a brutal raid, not to mention the poor man is still spamming the T2 and T1 units, which is just not something you wanna go and see at minute 20. At this point in the game, mate, you should be firmly entering the guerrilla tactics of the T3 UEF Titan spam, or maybe even getting some Persis, considering the map is small. Oh, bricks. It seems like Mr. Rena is actually using bricks. Oh my goodness, a T1 bomber snipe coming out here to go and kill out the enemy T2 max. Oh boy, are you really gonna go and do it like that? Okay, the TMD is actually gonna get shot down, but do they have any TML to go and launch? No? I don't never mind. Never mind, Mr. Fed97 is actually making a lot of TML missiles. We can see 8 launchers ready, each one with at least a single TML missile, but that's the question is, what are they gonna go and do with it? Because it seems like there is 1, 2 TMDs here for Mr. Biomutant, so we shouldn't be actually capable of sniping him. And why the hell are these bricks trying to go and kill the enemy ACU? Why? Why? You should be fully aware that there is no DPS on these little things. Although, a spider is coming. A spider having made by Mr. Biomutant. And I wonder where is it going? It seems like it is gonna go and march through the middle of the map. Or at least it looks like it's going to go through there. A few MMLs, Eve songs being made by Valeone, who is gonna go and try to go and punch through the enemy position here in the front of our camera. But unfortunately for him, a few bus kills are gonna be enough to go and protect the PDs. The bricks are gonna go and emerge on the other side of the river, gonna kill off a few T1 maxes and get rid of a few TMDs belonging to Mr. Azot, who is coming in here with his ACU to overcharge the enemy bricks. But let's see if the... Okay, it seems like the Fatboy is being made by Renax, with a little bit of help from Mr. Fede, meaning that the Monkey Lord might actually meet some resistance to it. It's laser opening up, it is gonna go and destroy the forward base belonging to Mr. Rena. As we can see, the T1 PDs being lasered one after another. Oh my goodness. A T3 HQ in this position. Now that's a ballsy move and you're gonna go and pay for it, Mr. Rena. You just lost like 5,000 mass and all your access. You're even gonna lose your T2 RHQ. Boy, that's not where you wanna go and plant your technology. A really, really bad choice for him. The Fatboy have been finished. It is gonna open fire anytime soon. We just need some information on where is the Monkey Lord. The units have been spotted. Or never mind, they are disappearing one after another. Okay. The Monkey Lord is finally inside. And as such, the Fatboys. Oh my goodness, so many mercies. The Spiderbot have already lost half of its HP to the Mercy Strike happening from Mr. Valeone. You just hate to see the AA was just not here, even more Mercies coming out, and as such the Monkey Lord is gonna be nothing more but a Mazonesh. He managed to go and grab the third vet to go and actually go and delay a little bit more damage, but it is over. the Monkey Lord is gonna go and fall down on its leg and face plant. And as such, the little push is over. And the damage done? A single T3 max killed, 2 T2 maxes killed, and a max that was here, but unfortunately considering I can't see the wreckage, I have no clue what max it was. Still, honest to God, this was not worth it. This was nothing but a imagination. Mr. Biomutant actually making boys in here. Let's see. Are you an ugly Raspboy maker, or do you are actually... Can I see? Rambo boys! Oh my goodness, I already like you, mate. I already like you. We have already one on the field. Second one comes out and it seems like we're gonna get some Rambo boy action happening. TML from Mr. Isma98 fighting away. Managing to go and kill the T2 Max in here. Another missile flying in the air is gonna go and kill the T1 Max. I guess it's not an easy life in here. When you're actually losing your T1 Maxes to the enemy TML, you just hate to see it. Even more T1 Maxes are gonna get sniped by the TML. I guess you're just doing it out of spite, aren't you? The third TML missile is gonna go and fly for the enemy T2 Max. But can it actually go and hit the target? It is gonna swerve, and no! The Max have been protected by the terrain. Love to see it. Love to see it. Or actually hate to see it if you are the opponent. Anyway, the Rambo boys, together with the Percivals and a few Cougars, are gonna march forward and go and deal with the enemy forward base belonging to Mr. Feder. As we can see, the shields. Okay, it seems like the TML missile have been launched and they are gonna go for the boy. But the boy is a tanky and chunky boy. It's a Rambo boy. And as such, he's gonna go and stay alive on just 6000 HP. He nearly died there. But considering that they have quite a chunky shields, which have actually 26,000 HP. Yep, those are really chunky boys. And as such, he actually managed to go and leave through the onslaught of the enemy TML missiles. Now, on the right flank, let's see what is happening. It just seems like yet another day on the Canis River when the stalemate is happening here on these choke points. Then, what do we have happening here? Another fatboy being produced by Mr. Feder97. Oh my, it seems like there is a brigade happening. As we can see, the T2 Max actually dying to the small raid from Mr. Rena. The T2 PD is actually gonna go and stay alive. The T1 unit's gonna go and put it. Ravager also being finished. It is gonna spin up and open fire against the enemy bricks. But that would be it. The bricks are just gonna go and walk it off. Kill a single T2 Max and then go back and hide. It seems like the Rambo boys together with the Percivals will have to go and fall back because the Fat Boy is dealing enormous damage to them. Second Fat Boy have been acquired. And as such, honestly, with two Fat Boys, I think that Mr. Feder should be actually able to just casually walk over this base in here. I don't see any T2 static artillery to go and counter the Fat Boys. So yes, this base should be dying in 10 or 5 to 10 minutes at best. Also, what the hell is this? Feder, what are you doing? What are these T1 factories? Oh my goodness, you're just spamming scorchers all over from them. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you how to play, but that's a strange way to go and actually play the game. A nuke launcher have been actually queued by Mr. Rena, also with a lot of hive assistance it seems. A curious choice, to be honest. Especially considering we are playing on Canis River, so a single SMD somewhere here in the front base is gonna be enough to cover all 4 bases. A Harbinger raid happening on the right flank, as Mr. Valone is still not done yet with the raids. And as such, poor Freddy will have a really hard time. Oh no. Oh no! There is a wall of T1 PDs in here, and as such the Harbingers will have to go and fall back, otherwise they risk losing their lives. And Mr. Fred, please stop building T1 units, just reclaim these factories, you don't need them, reclaim them and just make T3 units for God's sake. Oh my, a beautiful scorcher knife dropping napalm all over the enemy and... army. I just can't speak at all in here. But yeah, the Scorchers are dropping more and more of their payload on the Percivals. It might look beautiful, but unfortunately the damage is gonna be minuscule, even more so when you compare how much mass have been lost. Oh no, one of the boys have just died, but it seems like Mr. Biomutant is still trying to go and push forward. He's dancing, his Rambo boys are trying to go and dodge the shells coming from the enemy fat boys, which are shelling hard as hell. As all of their cannons are firing away, but the boys are not stopping. We can see them go from left to right, from right to left. Oh no, never mind, they stopped dancing for a moment. Okay, dance once again. Dance, dance, baby, dance, dance, baby, dance, we gonna dodge the shells. Dance, dance, baby, dance, dance, we're gonna dodge all the shells. Dance, dance, baby, dance, 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 we are coming for your booty. And hell, I have no clue how to sing. So pardon me for that. But yeah, it seems like the Rambo boys are getting closer and closer to the enemy fat boys. Although unfortunately, it seems like they are not gonna make it. The T1 Scorchers are here on the field, dropping their payload one after another, and it seems like Mr. Biomutant is gonna say, no, I am gonna get out of here. I am not capable of catching the enemy fat boys in the open, and as such, I will have to go and fall back. But here comes the Percivals, and there is a lot of them. Unfortunately, Percys are also gonna get countered by the fat boys. As long as you can't catch them, you are not killing them, and fat boys have a hell lot of long-range guns. An ASF fight is happening over our heads, but it seems like the top team is gonna go and lose it at the first turn. Was just way better for the Mr. Izma. And here comes another turn, and it seems like Mr. Biomutant was not paying the attention as all of his ASF just... they have been all shot down. But it seems like the Rambo boys and the Percivals are not stopping. The riot guns on the fat boys are opening their fires, as the boys are in the range to go and start dealing massive damage to the enemy base. Here comes the Percivals. A Monkey Lord in production is here. Restors coming out from Mr. Valone, I think. No, they're coming out from Mr. Izma. And they're gonna go and also did some damage. The T3 pigeons are under fire. The first one explodes, taking the shield, and also the T2 pigeon together with it. Another one gonna explode. The Monkey Lord have been killed. I mean, it wasn't even finished, but the damage have been done. There is a lot of mass being lost in the build power and everything. And it seems like the SMD is not gonna go and fall down, as the shield from the fat boy is gonna go and save it. So, unfortunately, as nice looking as the attack was, it was nothing but a mass donation. Let's see, 20k mass have been basically delivered to the doorstep of the enemy team. And as such, the fat boys, together with their shields and some T1 units, are gonna march forward yet again. Gonna move to this choke point and then go for the base belonging to Biomutant, which we can actually see in the distance. So, what else is happening? It seems like there is also some T2 artillery war happening in here, as Mr. Valone is actually using his miasma T2 arty position to go and shell this little army here, together with the TMDs, the Ravager, and also the T2 mass extractor. We have Charles being actually... Oh no. No! 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 There is a... Paisley, no, don't do it. Oh, the laser opens fires and Mr. Isma is gonna get fried alive. Goodbye, sweet boy. It was nothing personal, kid, but the laser is just so damn good. Also, it seemed like there's gonna be an airfight happening, as Mr. Paisley had to move all of his ASF over his ACU, which is a big mistake because he can still get away from there. And you hate to see it, all of the ASF belonging to the top team have been just shot down like that, and as such, the air control is gonna belong to the bottom team. Also, oh yep, it was pretty close, but Paisley managed to go and get out alive. But the problem lies in the fact that there is a Galactic Colossus coming their way. And considering that Mr. Fred had a really hard time playing up against Mr. Valone, I'm afraid he doesn't have anything to actually go and stop this attack. There is nothing at all to go and stop it. Nothing, not a single thing. And as such, this little chunky boy might be quite a nasty surprise for the enemy team. We can see the base slowly but surely emerging from behind the hill, as the Galactic Colossus is walking slowly but surely. The laser have opened fire, and we can see the first Titans coming to the Sakisaki Claw, the other one also flying in here. And oh my goodness, Paisley actually managed to go and snipe yet more players. Mr. Feder 97 have been ejected, although Paisley is gonna go and pay with his life for it. A most daring move, to be honest, but killing a single player and one of the lowest, and the lowest rated one, is not the best idea. Even more so when looking at the infrastructure damage, you didn't deal much damage at all, only managed to go and kill a single T3 Max, which is nowhere enough to go and pay for the laser ACU. But coming back to the GC, it have been actually killed by the enemy Monkey Lord. What's happening here? Okay, never mind, it seems like the chain reaction from all of the mass FAFs and the T3 pigeons is gonna go and kill a lot of the infrastructure belonging to Mr. Not Azot. But the SMD here is ready to go and intercept the nuke, but unfortunately, the nuke is flying for the forward base belonging to Mr. Biomutant. The SMD have been managed to be finished, but unfortunately, it is only 75% ready with the first rocket. Meaning that the nuclear missile is gonna connect. Kaboom, baby, kaboom! As we can see the base explode in a beautiful thermonuclear explosion. Goodbye to you. Goodbye. Thankfully, it seems like Mr. Biomutant is still alive. Oh. Oh! You can actually ground fire it. How nice. I didn't know we can actually ground fire with a laser from the Monkey Lord. But Mr. Azot showing us something new each and every day. But unfortunately for him, a single Monkey Lord is not gonna be enough to go and deal with two of the enemy fat boys belonging to Mr. Renax. Also, it seems like all of the expansions on the right flank belonging to Mr. Fred are yet again gonna get raided by a bunch of T3 units. As we can see, the Harbingers dealing a lot of damage here. T2 Max gonna go and fall down. The little Titan gonna go and kill the enemy Redeemer. But that is not enough to go and make a difference, because it seems like Mr. Biomutant is actually getting sniped by a bunch of wrestlers belonging to Mr. Renax. The ASF for Mr. Azot coming here, but they're not enough. They're not gonna manage to go and finish off the enemy restoration, and as such, the Rena X is gonna go and snipe the AC, belonging to Biomutant, and as such, the airfight happening was nothing more but a mass donation. And as such, we can see that the wall of the Air Force belonging to Azot have been shot down. Half of them died in the nuclear explosion. The other half have been mercilessly shot down by the enemy ASF and the restorers. Some Raz boys getting slowly but surely killed by the enemy fat boys, as we can see them shelling them over and over again. First boy is dead. Also, there are bricks from Rena actually just moving forward from one river to the other. And the question is, what do you have to go and stop it? Can you even go and stop this little raid? I mean, you do have a few Razboys in here. But unfortunately for you, Razboys are not enough to go and win against the enemy bricks. Okay, you have a molecule to go and intercept the bricks if they actually come ashore. But the question is, will they come ashore or not? The bricks actually get up. Malkilot is opening fire with his heavy bolters, but the bolters are not gonna be enough to go and stop them. The T3 Max is gonna go and fall down as the bricks are actually focusing it down. 1000 HP and kaboom, there goes the T3 Max. You hate to see it, but unfortunately you weren't able to go and stop it from happening. The laser on the Malkilot opens fire, and one after another bricks are gonna go and fall down as the laser of doom is opening its jaws. And as such, it seems like the bricks are only gonna go and manage to kill a single T3 Max and a bunch of T2 air factories. Oh no, poor Razboy gonna get shot down by yet more restorers. The Percivals and the T3 Max are also gonna get killed. And as such, the situation is getting more and more dire with each passing second. There is another little galactic colossus coming from Mr. Valona. It should be just enough to go and deal with the enemy Monkey Lord that can be seen in the distance. The Oblivions open their fire, but unfortunately for them, the T2 shield is not gonna be enough to go and stop the galactic colossus for much longer. As such, the T2 PDs are falling one after another. The Monkey Lord is still in here. Oh my, what a beautiful TML launch! But where did it come? Oh no, here comes the Mercies. That's a use of Mercy that I can actually approve of. As the Galactic Colossus is gonna go and drop to half HP. And it's gonna go and grab a single veterancy upgrade. Please don't, no, don't walk over. Okay, thank goodness you didn't walk over it. The Galactic Colossus opens the fire against the enemy Monkey Lord. Monkey Lord is coming closer and closer. It's open, it's death laser, and the question is who's gonna be the first one to die? As the HP on Muffin is dropping lower and lower, but it seems like the Monkey Lord is gonna win through the sheer amount of brutal DPS on its main cannon. Yep. The Mercies was what made the difference. Dropping the GC to half HP was enough to go and make sure that the Monkey Lord can go and finish it off. Oh my goodness, you little cunt. You just made a T3 artillery. How dare you do that? Let's see if there is any shields to go and protect the SMD. No, there is nothing protecting the SMD at all for now because the shields are down, and as such, if the next shot connects, it might kill the SMD. Okay, God bless, the shield actually managed to go and get back on time. A small airfight is happening as Mr. Azot is trying to go and clean down the restorers. No, it's not gonna go and do it. But it seems like it is gonna be a fight between chars. As we can see, char from Mr. Rena and from Azot are coming closer and closer to each other. Enemy ASF engaging the enemy char as Mr. Azot is gonna respond in kind using his ASF to go and clean up the enemy ASF. And after that he can just go and kill off. Oh no, There is a nuclear launch happening and the SMD is dead. I repeat, the SMD is dead, and as such, it seems like the nuclear missile belonging to the bottom team is gonna go and connect with the base belonging to Mr. Azot. But let's look what is gonna happen to the chars. What is gonna happen as the char belonging to Mr. Rena is dropping lower and lower. The shield is no more. I repeat, the shield have been shot down, and as such, the sums are enough to together with the ASF to go and kill off the char belonging to Mr. Rena, and as such, it is gonna go and fall down. The question now is, oh no, Mr. Fred have been shot down by the enemy nuclear missile, actually managing to go and connect. Oh well, of course it would connect, because the SMD have been sniped by the T3 artillery. And as such, we had a beautiful explosion happen. Not to mention, there is another nuke coming here. And as such, the base that belonged once to Fred is gonna go and also explode. Kaboom, baby, kaboom. Hate to see it, Mr. Azot. You did your best. But it seems like it was not enough, but thankfully you still have a few chars for yourself, so who knows, maybe you can go and throw a long-range donut at the enemy ASUs and somehow, just somehow, manage to go and kill them. Oh well, let's go and see what is gonna happen. The random bricks and Percivals are all over the place, dealing with the remnants of the bases belonging to Mr. Azot. The Strat Bombers are gonna get them shot down, but unfortunately, instead of trying to go and snap the enemy ACU, they went for the boys. I repeat, the Strat Bombers went for the boys. A bunch of T1 bombers flying in here. They're gonna go and try to get rid of something. I have no clue what, because they're all gonna get shot down. Or at least half of them. Are they gonna drop their bombs or not? Yep, they're dropping their bombs, and they try to kill and snap the enemy T3 mechs. I mean, that's one way to go and do it. A Strat Bomber dropping their payloads on the enemy T3 bots. Unfortunately, a bunch of Redeemers belonging to Valon are gonna get and shot it down. It is really a situation that you don't wanna find yourself in, Mr. Azot. What can you do? What can you do? There is a T3 artillery slowly but surely wailing away at your base. Or rather, at the remnants of your base. Not to mention, another one is being made by you. By Mr. Rena, so no. Soon enough, there's gonna be nothing at all left from your base. You're still trying to make another char to go and protect your base, but I don't think it is gonna be enough. Because the Percivals are gonna go and mow it all down. But the question is, the chars. The chars. An ASF fight is happening. As ASF are gonna intermingle, but unfortunately for Mr. Rena X, it seems... Okay, the nuke have been launched again. But it seems like the chars are still moving forward, and enemy ASF are dying one after another after all. The AA fire on the chars is actually quite brutal. Another nuclear launch missile have been launched. As the nuclear launches are detected one after another, as it seems like they're trying to go and snipe Mr. Azot. But unfortunately, it seems like the nukes are not gonna connect with the ASU. It's gonna go and kill a bunch of Sakus and the enemy char. But the chars are here, they're over the head of Mr. Rena X. The shields are dropping one after another as the HP on the ASU is dropping lower and lower. The first stars falls down and kaboom, baby! Mr. Rena X is gonna actually go and fall down now to go and just go and kill the other AC. Where is it? Where is... Okay, Valon have been spotted deep in the water. The laser is still firing away, and it seems like the HP is dropping lower and lower, and it is here. Mr. Azot actually managed to go and snipe the enemy players. No base, no units, just 2 experimental saucers. Well, it was enough to go and grab the victory from the jaws of defeat. Holy hell, Mr. Azot. I do salute you, I do salute you. GG, well played, and honestly, I was just waiting for you to go and roll over and die. But it seems like, well, you have, like I said, you have managed to go and grab the victory from the jaws of defeat. GG, well played, and see you next time.